start the match, 27 years old, and she's having a great year in her own right.
Unbelievable. And that's exactly how she phrased it last night. Unbelievable. She can't imagine what's happened to her.
Coming up light there, leaving a bucket. She's in her 7th show of the year, but 3 titles already, so she's kind of in the position that Carolyn Doran Ballard's been the other years, having strong years, but someone having a stronger year.
17 tournaments, 15 match plays. That's great right there. 3 titles and 9 top 10s. That's a bowler of the year years ago. You won 1 title.
Exactly. Now, she is also one of the ladies on the bubble for that top 8 in points, and that's because she missed an event. Even though she has all those great stats, she'd be higher up, but she did miss because of her back.
Unfortunately, Liz is one of the few players that does take 1 or 2 weeks off at a time because of an injury that flares up, such as Tammy, who struggles with her sciatic pain, but she takes it day to day, gets weekly massages, visits the chiropractor, and I guarantee you she will tell you that that is why she is bowling so well and on TV. She looks so strong. Look at that release. So solid and steady, gets it all the way out and just comes ripping back, leaves a ring and 10 pin.
A lot of the ladies having difficulties and back problems. Both of these ladies, Tammy's had surgery. Liz Johnson has a herniated disc. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Aired shot on Tammy, but it's the first frame. You've got plenty of room to make it up.
You know, Tammy not only obviously is a great bowler, but we received a letter just recently about Tammy Turner and how she behaved in a pro-am with a youngster and really made the child's week, month, year very thrilled. And we get those letters all the time about our athletes, how wonderful they are in the pro-ams and how they stay in contact with people they meet.
And that's great. That's part of our job. We enjoy doing it, but it's nice to get some positive feedback along with the negative. It's nice for the girls to know that they've touched someone or inspired someone in a positive way.
Liz's strength right now, her mental game and weakness.
Yeah, her footwork. She found the approaches to just be a little slippery, and that caused her to maybe throw a few errant shots here and there. Liz throws a very powerful ball, although she's a straight player. But when her ball hits the pins, boy, they fly around just like Tammy's, but coming from the opposite angle. Barely touches the head pin, but look at the action.
Well, you can create good angles of entry in a couple of different ways. Liz does it by starting farther right on the lane, so she can create a good angle even though she doesn't hook the ball as much as some of the other ladies.
And normally here in Pittsburgh, you don't necessarily get to play out a lot because that's not the characteristic of the house or the sport condition. But when Liz can play out, that's her A game. She's deadly. She got to do that this week.
Well, Tammy Turner saying that it's a work in progress for her to get her mind back to positive thinking after that back surgery. She hasn't won since 1996, and that's a tough one to swallow.
It sure is. She came out on tour like Leanne Barrett came out, took the tour by storm. And, you know, then you have your up years, your down years, your mediocre years, and Tammy's just really got to find a way to get herself back where she was. And I think this is a great start. 2 shows out of 6 tournaments.
Okay, she just missed a 10-pin and another the same exact way. Now, Tammy talked about the fact that part of her weakness also was spare shooting.
And adjustments. So she may have to make an adjustment on her spare shooting. But as we said before, there's a lot of oil in the middle of the lane. You can see it just never grabbed. When she threw the gutter ball, it hit right in the middle of the lane, slid right through the oil, never caught. So she's going to have to adjust to shoot the cross lane.
There's that weakness. Strength, positive thinking. She'll need every bit of it right now to regroup from that.
Yes, she will.
Exactly. Hard to regroup after 2 opens, 2 single pin misses in the first 3 frames. So we'll see how much she's come along in that mental process.
Now, she said her weakness was her spare shooting, but I guarantee she didn't miss that many in order to make the top 5. Got to make spares on the sport condition, or else you don't make it. Very important. You can see her taking deep breaths.
And she just hangs on to make that 7-pin. Now, we talked about Tammy Turner, how popular she is. The ladies also doing some charity for the recent disaster of September 11th. They raffled off this PWBA bowling ball. Actually, it will continue on tonight and be raffled off. And at the end of the season, we'll update you on how much money they've raised for the families of some of the victims of that disaster. And we'll continue that every week. Liz Johnson coming high after 2 strikes in a row in the second and third frames.
That was not a very good shot by Liz. She got that in, didn't hold. She went very high.
She'll change balls to shoot her spare.
No problem.
Liz did tell us that her back is hurting her a bit too, which is why she's even considering taking another week off, although she's concerned about those points for the top 8. But her back's been really bothering her. And she told Kathy actually about her year so far, and here's what she had to tell us.
Try to have a lot of fun right now. I changed equipment in the beginning of the year. It seemed to work out really well for me. I'm feeling good, my back feels good. And I'm just trying to bowl as well as I can and just have a good time.
Okay, publicly she says her back feels good, but privately it was a different story. More of the Three Rivers Open semifinal match in a moment. Liz Johnson has the lead. Welcome back to the Three Rivers Open at Princess Lanes in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. In the middle of the semifinal match, while we were away, Liz Johnson, after sparing in the 6th, stepped up in the 7th with a slight lead. Apparently disaster, the 6-7-10 split, but don't count on disaster yet. Liz Johnson changes balls. Perfect. Picks up the 6-7-10 to secure her lead, still at 8 pins. Meanwhile, Tammy Turner with a double in there closed up the match just a bit, but 8-pin lead still for Liz Johnson. Oh, my.
She couldn't have thrown that one any better. That was one of her best shots. She kept the ball on line a lot better. Solid in the pocket. Just what a great shot. Bad break. But easy spare.
Well, you hate to see that happen. We talked a lot about sport bowling. We showed these few players making the show every week and how their averages are so close, only going down about a pin. But if you look down, this is the ranking by average in the 2000 and 2001 years. And you can see the difference on the right-hand column. As you go down to the lower-ranked players by average, the pin amount varies even more, all the way down to 6 pins at the 25th ranked player from last year to this year on the sport bowling pattern. So a lot of ladies have not yet figured out how to maintain that kind of average on the sport bowling pattern. As Liz leaving a 7-10. So those of you at home, do not think that, don't get frustrated, don't think that you won't be able to learn it. It takes some time, and the average difference is even larger for the lower bowlers.
Obviously, lane 37 is breaking down a little bit because that was a better shot by Liz, and it's still checked up.
Oh, and she is one of the ladies that I've seen pick up a 7-10 because she can generate a little speed going at that spare. That just put Tammy Turner right back into the lead in this match in a big way, now up by 27 pins as she steps up in the 9. And I think Tammy Turner just received an early Christmas present from Liz Johnson and took advantage of it.
And so she should.
Tammy Turner telling us that she's really just trying to prepare for next year, to come out full time. She wants to learn the pattern, work mentally and physically, trying to make cuts, but right now it certainly appears she's going to find herself right in the middle of a championship match.
Well, that lack of confidence that she was battling seems to be alleviating her a little bit.
Absolutely, and considering she started with those 2 open frames out of the first 3 to come back, this to me is a major mental victory for Tammy Turner.
Now she needs to spare this to advance to the final match, championship match.
She'll need a spare and a few pins. Spare and 5 pins.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, now she still needs, she has 184. She doesn't throw another ball. Liz Johnson can shoot 188. Look at this.
Just gets it to the right.
Okay, now Tammy will need 5 pins. Remember, she threw it in the channel already tonight.
Yes, she did.
And then threw it right back out there in the next shot. What do you think? You think she'll go for the channel or throw it down the middle? Any guess?
I'm not sure. No, I don't know. Great shot.
Kept it in a little tighter, and that was way more than 5. So while it looked for a long period here that Liz Johnson would win this match, things turned around in that 9th frame with a 7-10 split by Liz Johnson, and she still can't get a break.
It was a close match.
So Tammy Turner is still
Good one,
alive.
too.
When we return, we'll take another look at the competition so far.